What's up, Ben Doyle?
How you doing?
Oh, just dandy. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I once again barely made it in here, but I'm here. There was a little blockade going on 2nd Street, but I'm here.
Blockade?
Yeah, there was a little blockade.
I always think to myself when I'm sitting in here, and either you or Rosa are filling in for CJ, what if your alarm didn't go off? Like, what if you just didn't show up? What would we do?
I wouldn't do that. I know that I like keep y'all on your feet before doing this every time because I roll up in here about 5 minutes before we start, but I typically make it in time.
You always make it in time.
Yeah, barely.
We've never been late.
Yeah.
But what if?
What if?
Like every now and then, very rarely.
Could you run this board?
I could at least get it started.
You could get it started, and you got a microphone right here.
Up.
Yeah. I got faith in you. You should do a solo show one day.
I?
Yeah.
No, I think it's okay.
Okay. All right.
I would miss you guys too much.
Yeah. Right.
It'd be so sad.
Yeah. You need a Robin to your Batman.
It's true.
Yeah.
Always. It was funny. CJ, who's clearly not here today, is going to the Usher concert, and my song of the day, because I play a song on my way in every morning, was Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, did it know? I can't escape him. He leaves.
A bit of a throwback. CJ got a big weekend.
I know. Celebration Bowl. Usher concert.
Good on him.
We have a big weekend.
Yes, we do.
We finally have a Grizzlies game.
I'm ready. It's been too long. What's the Titanic? I'm the Titanic meme.
It's been 84 years. That is how it feels.
Can't wait.
I know. We get the Nets again.
Revenge game.
3 opportunities. We'll talk about it. 3 revenge game opportunities coming up.
Coming up? Okay, good.
The next 3 opponents, the Grizzlies have lost to. They haven't lost to anyone lately.
I like it.
I know. I can't wait. Get your tickets. Yeah, flash that graphic right up. What's up, everybody? It is Friday the 13th, December 13th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in We'll also chat college football awards that happened last night outside of the Heisman Trophy award that will be given out over the weekend. We found out Bill Belichick's first words ever. We'll talk to Lang about all of that. We'll preview Week 15 in the NFL. We will, of course, talk about that disgusting Thursday night football game. We'll end with a little Music Friday. Glorilla dropped a new Christmas song. I love it. We are making our way into the weekend. You know what we say. Bennett, pick a catchphrase. Any catchphrase. Put you on the spot.
I thought it was cowabunga.
We now change it every day.
Okay.
But do you want to go back to cowabunga?
No, it's morphin' time!
It's morphin' time!
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament, presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Lob for Edie. Yes. Step back 3. Bingo. Powers it in. Durant.
Win big with Grizzlies Spin to Win ticket deals. Spin the wheel for your chance to win floor seats, free tickets, or unlock exclusive savings on tickets when the Grizz host the Brooklyn Nets on December 13th. Head to grizzlies.com/spin to win.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the end of the week. We made it to the end of the desert. We have seen the oasis of Grizzlies basketball back tonight. And I am excited for Grizzlies basketball, Bennett, as they take on the Nets right here at FedEx Forum. I felt a little lost without it these last couple of days.
I felt a little lost
lonely.
myself. Yeah, I felt a little lost myself. I'm glad
I do
to have
feel
them
rested,
back.
though.
Do you?
I do. I feel rested.
Okay, good.
I feel rested. I feel happily full. I had an awesome dinner last night. I finally got to try one of Ant's favorite pizzas. Do you follow Grizz fan Ant?
Of course I do. He's only one of my favorite Grizzlies
fans. What
fans.
are you doing? He started a pizza service. If you've been living under a rock, or maybe you got off Twitter and haven't seen it, but you can order these pizzas from him. He also makes wings. He makes pastas. We got Caesar salads last night. The first time around I was supposed to get it was when I got laryngitis, my infamous bout of laryngitis last month, and I couldn't speak, and pizza just didn't sound great. So we rescheduled it, and finally was able to get it last night. Incredible. Like, lived up to all of the hype. I think Jalen Wells got it. He's the only Grizzlies player I've seen, but he took a picture with him. And if it's good for Jalen Wells, it's good for me. But I like to think of myself as a semi-professional pizza connoisseur. Mm-hmm. This is top-notch pizza.
Really?
Ours had a little pesto on it, a little ricotta.
Oh,
Love ricotta.
yeah. I need to hit him up.
And it was square.
Oh, it was a square pizza. I like a square pizza too.
Takes me right back into the cafeterias of elementary school days.
Yeah, man.
So those are good things. And we'll, of course, talk about all things Grizzlies Nets and Grizzlies Lakers this weekend. And where is LeBron James? But I woke up a grumpy Grumplestiltskin. I'm so grumpy.
Oh, I know what you're going to. Yeah, I know where you're going.
So grumpy, and I can't shake it.
Yeah.
I can't shake it, Bennett Doyle, because all year, well, all football season, I work so hard as the general manager of not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 teams. I water those teams, and I watch them grow. And 5 of my 6 teams made it into the fantasy football playoffs.
Better than me.
And 3 of my 5 teams have been partially shouldered by players who played in last night's abysmal Thursday night football game between the Rams and the 49ers. And usually, we don't talk excessively about, no one wants to hear you talk about your fantasy football team. But
it's the playoffs. Is different. It's the playoffs.
And this is an epidemic that struck many. We are not alone in our sadness, but Cooper Kupp, 3 targets, 0 receptions, 0 points, and perhaps my worst play of the night, going with my starting quarterback of Brock Purdy, who had a grand total of 142 yards and an interception that took him from 7.42 points to 6.42 points. And now here we are coming off of the first night of the fantasy football playoffs, technically going into week 15 of the NFL season. And I've already lost.
Yeah.
I know it's not over until it's over, but I feel like it's over.
I'm literally in the exact same boat. This is like the worst fantasy. So I'm in 5 leagues. This is by far the worst season that I've ever had. I too consider myself a bit of a fantasy football expert. You know, I don't know if you know this. I used to host a fantasy football show on AM radio years and years ago. And this is by far the worst year I've ever had playing fantasy. And 2 of my 5 teams made the playoffs. And then last night, I'm in the same boat you are. This team, I've scratched, I clawed, I fought my way into the playoffs. 7-7 record. It's been such an up and down season. And Matt Stafford, been on a roll, multiple touchdowns every single game. He's my starting quarterback. And that, yes, I know that sounds crazy. There's no other good quarterbacks out there.
It's fine, it happens.
And he 7 points last night. It's over. It's done. I'm done. I can't win.
It was the first game this season without a touchdown. And it comes night 1 of the fantasy football playoffs. Are you kidding me?
And there's like real play. I mean, you've got George Kittle, you've got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua.
Jerry Jeudy's line last night was 75. He did nothing.
Yeah.
My only saving grace is that I'm so good in 2 leagues. I had a first round bye, and so I played Purdy and Judy, or not Judy. I'm sorry, Juwan Jennings. The double J keeps getting me. Jessica Jane, Jerry Jeudy, and Juwan Jennings. We are the double J's. But Juwan Jennings, my only saving grace is that in those leagues where I would have played Purdy and Jennings. They don't matter because I had a bye within that situation. So I'm holding on to a prayer. But I was in a really gross mood watching that game last night, and it wasn't a particularly fun game of football to watch. Obviously, the Rams win. That's huge for their playoff hopes and dreams. They have about a 50-50 shot still of making the postseason. The NFC West continues to be intriguing. My husband, so depressed, had to go from watching the Warriors lose to the Rockets on Wednesday night, and then had to watch his Niners lose to the Rams and officially turn towards the draft. He will tell you that for the last 3 weeks, his attention has been towards the draft. But they were still holding on to a small smidgen of hope. And they got so many players back, and one of them being Dre Greenlaw, and that led to the big conversation coming out of this game, outside of the Rams winning and outside of no touchdowns and the fantasy football implications of it all, but the actual football of it all with Devondre Campbell, who's a linebacker for the Niners, who just quit in the middle of the game, decided that he was not going to go back into the game. He was basically signed, the backstory on him, he's basically signed as a rental with Dre Greenlaw out. Dre Greenlaw tore his Achilles. He's an all-pro linebacker. He finally was coming back last night. He plays the first half, and you're watching that Niners defense, and for a split second before you know the outcome of last night's game, you think, maybe this is going to start clicking for the Niners. Like, they're getting big defensive players back. Their defense looked good. Dre Greenlaw looked spectacular. But then he was out to start the second half, because coming back from an Achilles, it's hard. I've done it. Brandon Clark has done it. Aaron Rodgers has, well, we don't have to get into Aaron Rodgers at this point. And they went and they asked Devondre Campbell to go in the game, and he said,
I'm good.
No. He said no. And Kyle Shanahan was asked about it afterwards, and he said that Campbell said he didn't want to play. George Kittle was asked about it, called it dumb and stupid and immature, and hopes he's never around anyone like that again. Campbell's teammates last night, not shy of words. Travarius Ward called it sucker, S-H-I-T, and said he's probably going to get cut soon, which would be the expectation.
Oh, he won't play next week for that team.
He might never play again.
That's...
To which this is where empathetic Jess comes in.
Yep.
Like, then I feel bad for him, right?
No, I don't.
None of us are our worst moment, but in the case of professional athletes, celebrities, like, so often your worst moment does become your label for the rest of existence. And like, even when this happens last night, you quickly get notes of, oh, well, we all remember when Vontae Davis retired at halftime. Oh, we all remember our last glimmer of Antonio Brown. We don't remember good Antonio Brown, and now we remember Cracker of the Day Antonio Brown and CT ESPN Antonio Brown. But from a playing perspective, your last image is him taking off his shirt, throwing up the peace sign, and running off the field. And now Devondre Campbell, who it's not like he was a household name, now you're going to remember him as the dude who quit in the middle of the Niners-Rams game.
Yeah, I mean, actually, now that you say it, I guess he's going to have massive regrets the rest of his life about doing that, because it's why I don't feel bad about guys that sit out, like stars that sit out before the NFL season, because your NFL, like for the majority of players in that league, your window is super tight.
Right.
So, like, you have very limited opportunities to make your money and be able to honestly live off that money for most of them for, the rest of your life. And he blew it. Like, he's going to get cut. There's no way he doesn't get cut after all that. You see all those quotes last night from Shanahan and the players, like, he's done.
He's going to get...
And he won't be on another team.
And think about the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree that extends all throughout the NFL. And so if someone's calling up Kyle Shanahan and is like, hey, are you going to vouch for this guy? Chances are he won't. So... by nature, I'm a little sap. I feel bad for him, but I also understand. Like, you can't do that. What if I just walked out right now? What if you had to do a solo show right now?
I'd try my best.
That would be a tough scene.
Yeah.
I was listening, before we move on to the Grizzlies, I was listening to the Athletics NFL podcast this morning, just listening to their recap on last night's festivities. And within it, I couldn't help but smile because they paused and they were like, you know what one of the craziest pieces of football trivia is? And I didn't know where this was going. And they said, do you know who was on the Memphis football roster in 2019? And they got it a smidge wrong because they included Darrell Henderson, who was last on it in 2018. But then they started listing, because Patrick Taylor
plays for the Niners,
on the Niners now, and Guerrero was able to play last night, but the thought was he might have some extended run. And they go on with Patrick Taylor, Antonio Gibson, Kenneth Gainwell, Calvin Austin.
Man.
That's crazy. But it was so fun. They're like, yeah, that's my favorite piece of football trivia to throw out and ask people about. I'm like, yeah, that was a stacked team. And Antonio Gibson was a receiver.
Stacked. Yeah, it's wild how many of those guys got into the league and have actually had longevity in the league now at this point. It's pretty cool.
Well, I wish everybody best of luck if you feel as if your fantasy football playoff matchup has already tanked. Perhaps you can come back.
I hate Thursday games. I hate when it comes to fantasy football. It literally never goes well, ever. If you have someone that you have to count on a Thursday night game in fantasy, it's never going to go your way, ever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope things go the Grizzlies' way tonight at FedEx Forum as they take on the hated Brooklyn Nets, the only team to have beaten the Grizzlies not once but twice this season.
How's that possible?
Right. Here's the Memphis Grizzlies, second in the West, have won 9 of their last 10 games.
Yep.
And the only team they've lost to twice this season is the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, they're not. It's not like they're 8th in the East. Like, it's not that egregious. It's just weird.
They're not trying, and I should say the Grizzlies tied for second in the West now with the Rockets after the Rockets win over the Warriors. The Nets aren't trying to win, but they have been better than expected this season. Like, they are 10-14.
Yep.
They have beaten 8 other teams other than the Grizzlies. It's not like they're the Washington Wizards sitting at 3 wins of the season, and 2 of them have been against the Memphis Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies have thankfully taken care of the Wizards in both of those contests. But I do think this stretch for the Grizzlies, and it is bizarre coming off a 4-day break in the middle of the season. Usually that is reserved for the All-Star break, but because of the NBA Cup, these last 4 days have been off for the Grizzlies. And then even after they play tonight at home, they play Sunday against the Lakers in Los Angeles, and then they have 3 days off. So before they play the Warriors back here at home. But those are 3 opponents, the Nets, the Lakers, and the Warriors, who have all beaten the Grizzlies thus far this year. The Grizzlies got 1 over the Lakers here at home, but then lost in Los Angeles, lost in Golden State. We did get a fun injury update yesterday, and I say fun because there's no more exciting word in Grizzlies fans' vernacular than doubtful when a player finally gets the much-awaited doubtful status on an injury report, and Zach Edey upgraded to doubtful. Probably won't play tonight against the Nets, but we'll see if he could be available in LA on Sunday, or at the very latest coming off, again, another 3 days of rest between the Lakers and the Warriors game. He's got to get revenge on Draymond Green. Draymond Green tried to kill him.
That's right. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Draymond, yeah.
He tried to murder Zach
Hold him
Edey.
down. It'll be interesting to see how they approach Zach's situation. Just as far, I mean, I'm sure they'll bring him along. I'm sure he'll come off the bench like his first game back, but keep him. He's a day one starter for this team, and they've been playing so good with Brandon Clark in that starting lineup. It'll just be interesting to see. And BC's like a veteran on this team, so it's not like, it's not like Zach Edey was playing in front of someone necessarily inferior to him on the roster, if that makes sense. Like, I know Zach Edey's probably going to be able to fill it up a little bit more in the box score than Brandon Clark would, but Brandon Clark's been so good with Jaren in that starting lineup, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach that going forward over these next couple weeks.
I think it's great for Zach Edey. Having been injured, not great. As a rookie, you want as much consistency as possible, and it feels like you take 3 steps forward, 1 step back when you can't be on the court, because half of the battle of being a rookie in this league is just adjusting to the speed, the physicality, the scheduling of being a professional athlete. And so for Zach Edey not to have gotten that, I don't want to be misconstrued. That's bad. But now the lack of reliance on him being your day one starter, on him being your championship chasing team starter is so huge for him.
I agree.
Because the pressure gets taken off. And sometimes especially when you're young and you play with pressure, your confidence can get shook so quickly. And now to not have to fully be that for this team because of how well Brandon has played is excellent. And Brandon just gives you someone who's been here. We've talked about the chemistry both with Ja and with Jaren. Those 3 play so well together.
They do.
Because they played together for a long time at this point.
Since they were rookies. Yeah. I think too with BC, like coming into the season, we just didn't know what he was going to be. Obviously, we got to see him play at the end of last season in meaningless games, and he looked like, he could play in an NBA game, like he could run up and down the court, but we didn't really see anything to make us be like, okay, Brandon Clark is all the way back from this Achilles injury that he suffered. Now, over these past couple weeks, you've really seen it, right? He looks athletic. Like he can jump. He's got it back, it appears.
I was really concerned, and I always make this point. I am not a professional basketball player, period, to the end. So my experience with an Achilles injury is significantly different than a professional athlete's experience. However, when he came back last year, we were on like a month and a half difference timeline. Like I'm laying on my couch, souped up on pain meds, and I'm half asleep watching that game where he tears his Achilles. And I wake up in a drug-induced haze, and Chris is like, "You're not going to believe what happened while you were out. Brandon Clark probably tore his Achilles." And I was like, "Oh, you're kidding me." But so similar time periods. And so at the time last season when Brandon Clark comes back, I'm still mentally dealing with not trusting my leg. And so I'm thinking like, well, certainly he has, better rehab, better opportunities, had a better body to begin with. I'm very, very tall and definitely have the bounce and the dunk, but never going to be able to do that again. And I'm like, what if he never feels that confidence again to be that version? And now, like I just ran a half marathon last weekend. This will be the last time I say it. Full confidence in my body. Like didn't even think about it. And I think that's where Brandon has gotten too, which is awesome. And I understand that better now than I did in the process, because it really is like a switch just gets flipped one day, and you go from the smallest thing, stepping off a curb, you're thinking about it, like, oh, I don't want to tweak this weird, to going back to the second nature of trusting your body. And that's huge for this group.
It really is.
Excited. Did you listen to the Jaren Jackson Jr. apprance on the
Out
the Mud podcast? I have it flagged to listen to later today.
Good.
What was the best part?
Oh, I mean, I just, it's the one that's obviously making the rounds, but just, I loved his answer when they asked him about which team would win. Which version? Was it the 2019, 2020?
No, the 2012, 2013. Oh, I'm sorry, for the Grizzlies. The 2021, 2022.
Yeah, it was 21.
The team that lost to the Warriors.
Yeah, 21-22 versus the 2012-13 Grizzlies.
Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, and Jaren was just like, y'all foul all the time. Like, it's like they had to stop calling fouls because they didn't want your whole team to foul out. Like, I thought that was so good. Yeah.
I love that. In 2021, 2022, I'm not trying to be a hater. Jaren Jackson Jr. fouled a whole lot.
Dude,
like one of his greatest improvements is that he's not fouling.
It really is. We don't talk
about
about that enough about him. He that was a thing with Jaren for a long time.
And Dylan was on that team too.
Yes.
The two of them together, I don't have the stats up in front of me and I don't know the answer to this, but I would assume that they had two of the higher foul rates in the NBA that season. And they were on the same team. And don't you think
so
Dylan
good.
would have gotten so frustrated? Like, he would have gotten kicked out of a game.
Yes, absolutely.
The antagonizing of it all would have been. But I love the exercise, and I love the confidence of Jaren sitting there, staring him right in the eyes and being like, we would have gentleman swept you.
It was
We
so
would have gone
good.
up 3-0. You would have gotten one. And then we would have run away.
And
with
you
it.
could tell it kind of pissed off Tony, and Zebo was like, nah, he's got to say that. I respect it. He has to say that. Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to go back. I just think the connectivity, I'm not around other teams. I work for the Grizzlies. I live here in Memphis. I don't know if there are other former players with the level of connectivity that Tony and Zach have here in this city right now. And I'm sure
Yeah,
it
I
exists
agree.
in places, but it is so cool to see. Like those, getting to listen to those conversations and the reflections and the understanding and the support, right? Like a lot of times players, especially in a city like Memphis, a smaller market, players play here, they move on, they go retire, and they never come back.
So true.
And the fact that you have one of your current stars sitting down with two of your core four players and like just shooting the shit is so fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, I loved that. It was really cool seeing those guys get together.
All right, we got to take a quick break. Lang Whitaker is going to join us on the other side. He talked with Desmond Bane and Santi Aldama yesterday about the Grizzlies winning 9 of their last 10. And Desmond Bane used one word specifically that I thought was a little illuminating. We'll talk to Lang about the Grizzlies, talk to him about the college football awards that happened last night, and also Bill Belichick. The conversation continues. He had his opening press conference, and he told people what his first words as a baby was. Baby Billy. He called himself Billy. I didn't know we were doing that. We'll get into it with Lang when we come back.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Look at that. We got the whole Grizzlies team just infiltrated our studio. Santi Aldama's in the house. Look at everybody. The whole Grizzlies team. Look at Zach Edey's in the house. John Morant's in the house. Say hello. Say hello.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them
How about the
Tigers? Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. It's Friday. Lang Whitaker joins us
what's
in
up?
studio. Lang, you are a chef. Cooking with Lang. Don't know if
I'm a
people have heard
cook. I'm
about
not a
it.
chef.
What's the difference?
Chef's like a professional guy who runs the kitchen and knows what he's doing. I'm just a cook.
Yeah, you got to have one of those like white apron.
toque.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear the hat to be a chef?
I think
I
that's,
don't wear an apron when I cook.
Okay.
Or
I think the hat's dated. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a thing anymore.
the big white hat.
Doesn't he wear it in the Bear?
No.
Yes, he does when he's in the Michelin star restaurant. Not his
Okay, maybe in a
restaurant.
Michelin star.
But
But
not
they're going for a Michelin star.
yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
he just wears like a t-shirt most of the time,
That's
doesn't
true.
he?
And an
Yeah.
apron. Carmi, of
Yeah.
course. You have had, my point of this was, we were talking about the wonderful Grizz fan Aunt pizza, Hustle Main pizza.
Yep.
And Michael in the chat asked how it was. I said it's the best pizza I've had in months. What pizza did you get from him? Do you remember? It's been a
Yeah,
minute.
I think I was his first delivery in Memphis. I got one that was just plain, like just cheese pizza, and then one that was the white pizza that had mushrooms and ricotta and stuff. It was really good.
Ours had ricotta
I got
on it
wings
as
from
well.
him too. I don't know if he's still doing the wings.
He is.
Yeah.
And different pastas.
He sent me the menu now. Yeah, now he has like a full menu
Yeah.
of stuff. I gotta tap back in. I actually made pizza myself last night, and I felt sort of guilty posting it because I knew like he's become Mr. Memphis Pizza guy now.
It's okay. There's no
And
monopoly
look,
on the
Ant-
pizza world. But
Ant's riding high right now because the Yankees just signed. He's a Mets fan,
Right.
and they just
Juan
signed
Soto.
Juan Soto, who showed up looking like Bartolo Colon for his press conference yesterday. So I'm sure that makes Met fans feel great. But I know he's probably feeling great about the Mets right now. So he's doing great. He's got his thing. So I can make my little pizza on the side. I'm not selling it.
I did think it was a great representation. So many restaurants have been in the news in Memphis, and restaurants. It's really hard to keep restaurants open, period.
Yeah.
Like if you look across the country,
Yeah.
restaurants are one of the most
It's a terrible investment.
dicey investments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in Memphis, it has felt like there's just been like a tsunami of restaurant closings. But last night with him, it reminded me of one of my favorite things about like going out to eat or choosing to spend your money on somebody's version of a restaurant or food or catering service. And it was just the interaction. Like he rolled right up to the front of my condo.
Yep.
Texted me, hey, I'm here. We came down, had a nice conversation, chatted for like 5 minutes. And that was so cool. Like, we don't do a lot of that.
I met him in a parking lot.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
got pizza from him. My son was in the car. Yeah, like the first time we met. Restaurants in general are a terrible, like, financial thing, unless it's
Yeah.
like a huge hit. But like most of them, it's so much work. And then B, like you're barely clearing any profits from it. So it's hard to like make it work. I've had people say to me, like, they're like, hey, why don't you open a restaurant? And every single time. It's like, no, like, why would you, like you get up at 6 o'clock, you're making like broth and stock and crap. And like, you're just constantly working. And then the other thing about it is like, if I invite you to my house, like you've been invited to eat dinner, even if I cook some crappy food, you're going to be like, because I know you're a polite person, you're going to say, hey, that was awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah. If you're paying for it, like you're going to go on Google and write some crappy review or light me up on TikTok or some crap. Like, I don't need that. Just, you can come to my house. That's fine. I'll pay for it. You don't have to pay me. I'll pay to make it. And we'll all be happy from this.
That's funny. Grizzlies Nets tonight at FedEx Forum. It has
Speaking
been
of cooking,
a minute. They are cooking.
How about those Grizzlies?
They've been resting.
Yeah.
They've been put on the counter. Hopefully they haven't cooled off as they take on the Nets.
I went to practice 2 days ago.
Okay.
And the Grizzlies took Monday, Tuesday completely off. They didn't practice or do anything. And Desmond Bain was saying like how nice it was to have 48 hours of just not beating on the court at all. Like, and all the players were like, it was kind of weird. Desmond called it a mini All-Star break before All-Star break.
Right.
To have those 48 hours to not do anything. And he was like, I think we all kind of shot around at our local play or gyms or whatever somewhere. Like some guys came in, but they didn't practice. And it, sort of like the gift and the curse is that they're so hot right now, but then all of a sudden you don't play for a week. And you kind of like, oh, hopefully we don't lose it. So I think the Grizzlies sort of intentionally planned. Taylor Jenkins talked about, the first day back, they didn't really practice like physically one-on-one stuff. He said it was low-hanging fruit, things that they thought that they could attack, that they'd kind of just little things that they'd missed that they could have like just check off the list of things to address. And then yesterday they were going to go all out and like have a real hard practice and try to like ramp up for today. But the one thing everyone talked about was like wanted to beat the Nets because it's the only team we've lost to twice this year.
Yes, I think that you could not have drawn up a better opponent to come out of a 4-day break because there absolutely is a risk of, especially a team that, let's call it what it is, not one of the top teams in the league. Like, it's not the game against the Thunder that not suddenly, but everyone has had circled and potentially being like a 1 versus 2 in the West. It's not a game against the Celtics that you just had. The ones that are really easy to get up for, sometimes coming off a rest like that, it can be hard. You don't come in with the attack mode straight off the bat in the first quarter. But against the Nets, I feel that they will because they are, as you mentioned, a team that beat them twice. And to have 3 games in a row against teams that have beaten you this season feels like a solid re-entry point.
Also, like I think the guys are aware, like, look, we've won 9 out of 10. We're one of the better teams in the league now. Like they understand, like we still have stuff to prove. Like a lot of people I think still kind of just look at the Grizzlies and like, oh, okay, good. They're 9 out of 10. Santi Aldama, my oldest Spanish son at practice the other day was saying like, he was like, look, we didn't win 9 out of 10 because we just got lucky. He was like, we've worked really hard.
A lot by double digits.
And he's like, he goes, this is hard work. We come in and we work hard. And he goes, that hasn't changed. We're still working really hard. And I think we're still going to, be able to kind of pick up where we left off. And look, I mean, not only Brooklyn, then you play the Lakers 2 days later, another team that we have this history with. And there's been some whatever for the last year between the two teams, last few years, I guess. Not beef. What would you say?
Animosity.
Sure.
I'd call it beef.
I don't know. It's not beef.
I think if you asked, got an honest
Chicago
answer.
beef. No, it's not. It's not like full on beef. I'd say it's like animosity maybe, or just like.
I mean, Desmond Bain has called LeBron old, and after Scottie Pippen Jr. here at the game that the Grizzlies beat the Lakers
they didn't believe in him.
Right,
and
ripped the ball right out of LeBron's hands. Like if you take the culmination of
they injured
the
Ja
last
in the
3
playoffs.
years against the Lakers, Rui Hachimura becoming the greatest shooter of all time in the playoffs.
Only against us,
right. So there's something
there.
And with the Lakers right now, LeBron James is MIA, an excused absence.
And the Laker fans are probably furious because Juan Soto went to the Mets.
Probably, you're right. So that was tough for their team, the Yankees.
Been hurt. Yeah.
Well, they're all Dodgers fans now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because they have so much damn money.
And they're good.
And they're good, exactly.
They're a big bandwagon.
They finally have a team on their coast that they can bandwagon on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how this team comes back. In your Grizzlies newsletter, which if you don't get the Grind City Media newsletter, what are you even doing?
I don't understand
My
either.
inbox is flooded with newsletters
Mine
every
too.
morning. I actually enjoy I really do enjoy newsletters.
I wake up and there's like 7 or 8
They're
in
a little
my
overwhelming
inbox.
sometimes. I need to
Some of them I don't
unsubscribe.
I'll tell you,
from some.
let's be honest, some of them I don't even open. I just
Me too.
swipe left and delete.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't unsubscribe. I have a friend who writes one. I'm not going to name who it is. And I don't want to unsubscribe because I want to add to his total,
I get like
subscribers.
4 of the Athletics.
I only get one of
I
theirs.
get the daily, I get the NBA one, I get the NFL one, and I get the college
I just do
football
the
one.
daily one from them.
Yeah.
But I get a cooking newsletter from somebody. Like it only comes on Fridays. I have other ones that come in. I have a New York Times one that I don't read that I just get because I subscribe to the New York Times.
I actually read the New York Times one. That's my best way of staying
on top of like
aware.
the world of
and
news.
I have the Axios one too. So I kind of go back and forth between those. But in your newsletter,
the Grind City Media
the
one's
Grind
great.
City Media newsletter, which you can subscribe to at grindcitymedia.com, in the quote from Desmond Bain about winning 9 of the last 10, he said, we feel good right now, but the goal is not to feel good right now. It's to feel good in June.
I thought it was great, right?
Which is really the first kind of planting flags is so hot right now, but flag plant of like a declaration statement. And it's not in a flashy way, and I don't think it's done in an inappropriate way at any sense, but it shows that in their head, in this team's mentals, is we want to be playing until June because that means we're chasing a championship.
At least one guy's talking about it.
Yeah,
right?
but you would assume.
I don't know if he meant June championship or just playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he might have just said we want to be playing good after the season.
In June.
I know. Well, Santi also said we want to play good for the last 70 games of the season that we have left.
Okay,
and I was
math
like,
is hard.
and I was like, well, I don't. You played 25, I think. So, but if you make the finals, maybe it is 70 games. So I don't know. Yeah, but that was cool that Des said that, and he said it kind of casually and just threw it in there. But I was like, oh. Like, I think they're thinking about this a little bit, maybe.
Which is a fair thought to have. Coming off of did you watch any of the NBA Cup quarterfinal
I did,
games?
yes. I watched all of them, I think.
Okay, so specifically from the Western Conference
I
perspective.
I definitely watched Warriors Rockets, which is hilarious. And, yeah.
Yes, finally the Warriors on the other side of a...
Can't believe they didn't get a call their way.
I know.
Wow.
They were very upset
Steve
about
Kerr's
it.
performative, anger at the referees is one of my favorite things.
It was pretty good. I love the word unconscionable.
Yeah.
I said it yesterday.
The open mouth.
The open mouth, even Buddy Hield with the hand over the face and Steph's reaction to it. But I didn't leave that game thinking, sure, the Warriors are always going to be the Warriors. And I look forward to Grizzlies-Warriors next Thursday, talking about teams that the Grizzlies have legs of a rivalry with. That's one of them. But in looking at the Thunder and the Rockets, who are the two teams, the Thunder in first in the West and the Rockets tied with the Grizzlies, but would have the edge right now because they beat them earlier in the season. What is your level of confidence in the Grizzlies being better than either of those two teams at this point?
I thought Charles Barkley said it well after that Warriors-Rockets game where he was like, this Rockets team's fun, but they don't know how to play basketball. They're just kind of wild. Like, it's like a whole
They're just
team.
hooping.
Huh?
They're just hooping.
Yeah, like
Truly.
maybe they score, maybe they don't. They play real hard on defense. It's just kind of like, it's like a team. You know, my son plays at his school in the 5th and 6th grade team. It's sort of like that. It's just a bunch of kids who are just like playing hard. You know, the ball goes up the court in a pack of people. Like they don't really they're not very surgical in their execution on the court. But it's good enough to make the Final Four of the NBA Cup or whatever. The other thing, the Thunder, I feel like they're still trying to figure out what they are. Like they're without Holmgren for so long now, and Hartenstein's been a really nice fit for them. But when he comes back, do they play together? And then what happens with Jalen Williams? They have really good players. I think their coach, who looks like Mr. Bean, is really good too. They've been a good team, but I tweeted at the start of the season, I thought they were going to be maybe the best regular season team in the NBA, and then in the playoffs, I don't know what happens with them, because in the playoffs you play the same team over and over, and you get a chance to study them, and they're so well prepared in the regular season, and they kind of catch teams off guard. I feel like just they throw wave after wave of player at you, but in the postseason, I don't know if they can do that. And the one thing I keep thinking about is Taylor Jenkins said at the start of the season, you know, when he was talking about this new offense and the way the Grizzlies were going to be different this year. And he was like, we want to be the team that people adjust for, not the team we're adjusting to everyone else. And I think they've done that. Like this Grizzlies team is a team that you have to adjust for, the way they play on offense, the pace they play with, all those different things. And I think the Rockets, the Thunder, whoever you're going to play against in the playoffs, they're going to have to adjust to play the Grizzlies style of play, I think, not the other way around.
I think that's a great way to put it. And we just saw one of the other teams like that, like a barometer measuring team, the Celtics. And so much was made of the Grizzlies' defensive strategy of leaving Drew Holiday open and selling out on him, essentially. And what will other teams do when you have a team like the Celtics that takes a stupid amount of threes? And everyone's a pretty good shooter, but you have to pick one. And it worked for the Grizzlies in that capacity, with them wanting to be that version in the West, is a great point. For the Chet Holmgren, they've obviously still been really good without Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein's been a big part of that. For the Grizzlies now in the front court, with the news that Zach Edey is doubtful. We love the word doubtful in Memphis, and then doubtful usually leads to questionable, and questionable can be probable, or maybe he'll jump somewhere in there. Probably won't see him tonight, but would expect to see him in this next week or so.
Maybe against AD.
Maybe against AD. Maybe against Draymond Green to revenge the attempted assassination on Zach Edey in that game.
Exactly.
What do the Grizzlies do? I think Bennett and I were talking about it in the first segment. He continues to come off the bench. because Brandon Clark has been awesome in that starting lineup along with Jaren Jackson Jr. But how do you see that playing out?
I think it's game by game, honestly. And I think, now it becomes Taylor Jenkins' great problem to manage is, you got 12, 13 people who can play on any given night. And Taylor actually said at practice the other day, he was like, he didn't want to fully commit to the statement, but he was like, we have a much better idea now of like what kind of lineups we can go to. If we're going to be playing more half court, can we go to this lineup for a few minutes? If we're going to be playing more up and down, if we want a more defensive heavy lineup, we go to this. I mean, we didn't even mention when Gigi and Vince get back too, right? There's two other guys who are rotation players. But I think it gives you so many more options. Taylor actually said something the other day that was interesting that I've kind of been thinking about too, where he said, we have these guys and we can go to these lineups where we ask you to play in short bursts. Like, we don't want you to come in and play for 6 minutes. We want you to come in and play 2.5 minutes and just go all out for 2.5 minutes.
Right.
Leave it all out there. And maybe then when you're playing a 10-man rotational, I don't know, if you're going to go 10, 11, because most teams go 9 maybe.
Sure.
Then you can say, like, all right, hey, Vince, go out there for 3 minutes and just lock up Steph Curry. Just leave it out there. Do it.
Go crazy.
Yeah. And then, we'll get you out. Somebody else can come in and play. Edie was at practice the other day, and he was off by himself on one of the corner goals, and we were watching him, and I don't think he knew anybody was watching. And he was on his tiptoes grabbing the rim, basically flat-footed, and dunking the ball almost flat-footed. It was kind of ridiculous. And then he walked away, and then I saw nobody watching him. John Conchar goes over and grabs the net just to see how high he could grab, and just tries to see how high he could reach by himself. It was so funny because it's a reminder that Zach Edey is still just such a freak of nature.
So tall.
Yeah.
Just such a large presence. Look forward to seeing him back. Look forward to seeing this Grizzlies team tonight against the Nets. Switching gears to college football.
Yeah.
The Heisman Trophy will be handed out tomorrow, but we got the college football awards last night.
Why is the sportsmanship award called the Danny Werfel Award?
I don't know.
I saw that somebody won the Danny Werfel Award, and I was like, oh, it's best quarterback. And they're like, no, it's citizenship or something like that.
He must have done something good in his life. Let's see if it says on the website. It's actually the All-State Werfel Trophy, so please give word to our sponsors.
I thought it was for the player whose head looked like a canned ham.
He is renowned for his commitment to service and leadership.
Is he?
That's all it says. I don't know what he did in his life, but he did enough to get that trophy named after him. The big headliners, though, were Travis Hunter becoming the first player to ever win the Bednarik and the Biletnikoff, so the awards given to the best defensive player and the best receiver. I will say, a controversial Biletnikoff winner.
Yeah.
Nick Nash did exist. Let's be perfectly clear. Travis Hunter has been great and is a part of this two-man race for Heisman, which we will absolutely get into. But Nick Nash was the best receiver in college football this season.
I wouldn't say Travis Hunter was the best receiver.
No. And
I would say Restrepo was better than him, too.
Sure. I'd say
Miami.
the Arizona, Tetero, was also better than him. But he gets the Biletnikoff Award. And then Ashton Jeanty, he also got he was the AP Player of the Year, and he got the Walter Camp Award, which goes to college football's Player of the Year. But the other Player of the Year is the Maxwell Award, and that went to Ashton Jeanty, the most outstanding player in college football. He also won the Doak Walker Award for Best Running Back. He's just the second Mountain West player in the last 23 years to win the Doak Walker. The last was a Luke Staley, BYU, 2001.
Don't know him.
And the last Group of 5 player to win the Maxwell Award. Do you have any idea?
No.
1990.
Ooh.
Ty Detmer.
How about that?
You
Called
got it, and you get
Let's
it.
go.
I give it to you because you started saying Ty. It doesn't really give us any real glimpse. Like last year, the Maxwell went to Michael Penix, and the Walter Camp went to Jaden Daniels, and then Daniels wins the Heisman.
Yeah. I feel like the Heisman's devalued. Don't
Do
you?
you?
Yeah. It's not like we don't. It's not the thing anymore.
Is that only because it's not a quarterback?
I don't
Which
know.
I don't like.
I don't either. And I feel like I said this yesterday on the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. I think Travis Hunter, if he wins the Heisman, that feels to me like it's the most college football thing, right? It's like you don't see guys play two ways in the NFL anymore since Deion, really. But to start on both sides, to be great on both sides, that's a very college football-y thing, right? It's like he's an athlete, and we put him out there and just let him affect the games. That feels to me like that's a college football player, and maybe he should win the Heisman.
I have a lot of people who are very, very upset at me for having that same take.
Yeah.
We posted on social media a few days ago where I said Travis Hunter should win the Heisman Trophy because of just that. And the number of people who have said snaps is not a stat.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a reality, and we haven't.
Well, it is a stat. It's just maybe it's not important.
Sure, and it's not something that we normally use, but we don't normally see a player playing that many snaps on both sides of the ball. We have had two-way players. I witnessed Adoree Jackson at USC, who was mostly a defensive back and played a couple special packages on offense where it would sneak up and you'd be like, wow, he can play both sides of the ball. But it wasn't every game, and it wasn't the rate that Travis Hunter has done it. I will say, one of my favorite, just quick aside, a lot of the people who were mad at me over the last few days, which is great. Please keep commenting because that's great for engagement. We love that. They keep calling me a 304.
What's that mean?
I had no idea. And it just kept coming, and I got DMs, and it was like, you stupid 304. And I'm like, what is this? So I finally Googled it last night. It's hoe. Because 304 in a calculator upside down is hoe.
H-O-E?
And I've got to give it
but
to you,
that's not how you
man.
spell hoe.
Well, that's how they're spelling it.
That's how you use it, like a hoe
like
on
a
garden hoe.
I know. So semantics, but that's pretty clever. I laughed. I appreciated that in the moment.
Are these kids who use like a TI-85 or something?
I didn't know we were still using TI-85s. That was always the most expensive part of a school supply list.
Yeah, you see how much books cost now.
I don't want to know.
Oh my God.
I don't want to know.
I had to
Kids
buy
are
books.
smart these days.
For what?
We just did the boobs.
Yeah,
on the
that's what we
calculator.
did.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
what
I
we
knew.
did.
Yeah.
I was doing math with my son last night, and I was going to tell him, "Hey, type in 6 zeros here, whatever it is."
Yeah, see?
But then I thought, no, I better not do that.
We're losing our recipes. You need to share with the children.
I think though that like Hunter, to me though, like that's exactly right. Like when I was at maybe it was before I was at Georgia. Hines Ward played at Georgia and started the season as a wide receiver, and then everybody got hurt, and they switched him to running back, and then all the quarterbacks got hurt, and they switched him to quarterback. And he started a game at quarterback against Alabama. Like, how many players, start at 3 marquee positions for a team in a season? He wasn't that good at it, so he didn't win the Heisman. But I think that's the other thing that separates Travis Hunter is that he's elite at these things. Maybe he's not the best wide receiver in college football, but he's up there. He's one of the 5-10 best in college football.
And that's where we get into the weeds of what is elite. But I think that because he is playing as much as he is at least good rate, that makes him elite. And like I said, I think Nick Nash should have won the Biletnikoff. I think he was the best wide receiver in college football this year and probably got knocked because he plays for San Jose State, just as some will say Ashton Jeanty is getting knocked for playing in the Mountain West. But that's not my argument. For me, I am not having Travis Hunter win the Heisman because Ashton Jeanty plays in the Mountain West.
I thought every time I watched Miami play, that dude Restrepo had 13 catches for 172 yards. And he broke all those other guys' catching records, Michael Irvin, Santana Moss. And then I was reading an article yesterday about the receivers. That guy dropped 2 passes all year. 2 for the whole season. And those were plays where the ball was thrown short and he got his hands on it and dropped it. I think there's other guys who were probably better receivers than Travis Hunter. But I don't know if any of them had as big an effect on game planning and game after game as Travis Hunter did.
All right, last thing before we let you go. Bill Belichick is the coach of North Carolina. We talked about it ad nauseum yesterday, but he did give his opening press conference, which was... I thought he gave more personality. We've seen this personality from him as he stepped into the media space. I've gone out of my way to watch him on Manning Cast on Monday Night Football.
But even on the Manning Cast, I watched him this week. I mean, he might as well just be like a robot.
It's a little bit. All right, he gave this spiel. We found out what Bill Belichick's first words ever were, and they feel a little too perfect. Did you hear this?
No.
Oh, take a listen.
One story I always heard was Billy's first words were, beat Duke.
Look at that little smile.
Yeah, I think
Look at the little smirk.
I think he was a baby. His actual first words were probably need poop.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And
his
it sounded
parents
like
were
beat
like,
Duke,
we're in Carolina, so we're going to pretend like it's beat Duke. But really it was me poop.
Yeah, or need poop.
Need
something.
poop. I think me
gotta
poop.
Yeah, me poop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He calls himself Billy.
Yeah.
It's the little things. What's your stance on it before I let you go?
There's such a low bar. If he goes 7-5, 8-4, people are going to be like, oh, look, he's turning things around. He's got it going. The one thing I would say is that the ACC is a lot harder than it was 2-3 years ago. There's all these teams now that are pretty darn good, from a Miami, from SMU, Clemson, Georgia Tech's good.
Yeah.
Duke is good. Like there's
Cal was good.
Cal's good. There's teams that are pretty good now in the ACC, and I think it's not going to be as easy as it would have been for Belichick just to show up and throw some money at a couple players and be like, hey, look, we got a program here. I mean, we'll see if it's one of the things with the Patriots was they paid Tom Brady all that money, and then Belichick was great at trading back and finding guys who fit his system, late in drafts. Somebody said all these Carolina reserve lacrosse players are now going to turn into wide receivers. Like, he'll find guys. He always did that. If he can do that at college and find value in players, maybe it works. I don't know. It all feels though like very strange because a year ago, he was almost, not even a year ago, 8 months ago, he was almost like the head coach of a couple of NFL teams. And now he's just going to Carolina and bringing his son with him as the coach in waiting. And I don't know. The whole thing feels odd. You know how I feel about Belichick and his very young girlfriend. Like, that's kind of weird too. So the whole thing, I don't really understand it. If you're Carolina, does this set you up for the future? If you think Steve Belichick is your coach for the future, maybe it does. But otherwise, his
buyout is like $1 million. It starts at 10, but after
it drops
June
really
of
fast.
2025.
Yeah.
So before he even coaches a game, his buyout is $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-year contract, 3 of those being guaranteed.
Yeah.
But he could leave if a job did arise in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of, do you follow Shutdown Fullcast?
Yep.
Spencer Hall
Yep.
and what's her name? I can't think.
Holly
of it.
Anderson.
Yes, thank you, Holly Anderson. They put out a newsletter last night on it, and they're another newsletter.
Yeah.
So I told you I'd subscribe to all of them, but it was so funny. They were like, "Do you really want to go be like a glorified camp counselor for 120 kids who,
But he's not even going to be that. He's going to be grandparents' day at camp. He's going to show up and be like, "Hey guys, all right now, can you see Belichick showing up in some kid's high school in North Carolina to come to a game on a Friday night and then, slide in some other kid's DM Saturday morning and be like, hey, how's the recruiting going? All that stuff. I just cannot see Belichick being a part of that.
It was this phrase. There are 32 jobs out there right now that you want and can't have, alluding to the NFL. But there are 134 soul-sucking jobs that combine the rigors of camp counseling, 120 senior adolescents with the dungeon grind of football coaching, and the added challenge of playing amateur state politician, sometimes all simultaneously.
Yeah.
The whole point of it was, the newsletter is titled, B word, you have a boat. Meaning, you're rich. Why can't these rich people just retire into happiness and travel the world and use their money? And instead, you're going to go have to game plan against Wake Forest. You're going to have to figure out your travel plans to go play Cal in Berkeley this fall.
What I said on the Odds Couple yesterday, not as eloquently as they did,
it was so funny.
is that being a football coach is hard. It is so much work to be a football coach.
A college
football coach. It's unbelievable. And I cannot believe Belichick signed up for this and is like, hey, let's do it. I'm in. Like I said, going to the high school games, the DMs, recruiting, see these kids flipping back to back, entering the portal, pulling out the next day, all this crap. That's all antithetical to what Bill Belichick ran in the Patriots.
Yes.
Right? It was his system. It was his way or the highway. And now he's got to cater to all these 18-year-old kids. And I don't know. It just feels like a recipe for a disaster. And, if it is, that'd be even more fun for us. So,
Lang, I will see you
on
the Grind City Media warm-up show.
See you in about, 10 hours? Something like that?
10 hours. We'll be back here. Grizzlies Nets. We'll see you then. John Roser just walked in the studio. He's going to replace Bennett Doyle. I'll talk to Roser about upcoming Week 15 in the NFL, the sad San Francisco 49ers that he also
Roser
had to
came right in
watch
time
last night. Perfect timing. And we'll do some Music Friday. Some new music dropped today. We'll talk about what we're listening going into the weekend. That's all still ahead.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies. Hoop on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics presented by Ortho South. Clinics are open to kids ages 6 to 14 and last 60 minutes. The next clinic tips off December 23rd, the same day the Grizzlies play the Clippers. All skill levels are welcome, from beginner to competitive athlete. Sign up now before spots sell out at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Registration includes a Junior Grizzlies t-shirt and 2 tickets to the game that day.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity and win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Lob for Edie. Yes. Step back 3. Bingo. Powers it in. Durant. Oh!
Win big with Grizzlies Spin to Win ticket deals. Spin the wheel for your chance to win floor seats, free tickets, or unlock exclusive savings on tickets when the Grizz host the Brooklyn Nets on December 13th. Head to grizzlies.com/spin to win.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
D'Anthony Melton took my boys, my little guys, to the ice cream stand. He was like, I'm going to get ice cream. You want to go with? So he took my little guys to the ice cream stand. So, guess who their favorite player is now? John Morant. But outside of that, D'Anthony Melton's pretty high up on the list. How about this? We got youth small D'Anthony Melton jerseys at our house right now. Love D'Anthony Melton. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night, man.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Home game tonight at 7 p.m. when your Grizzlies host the Brooklyn Nets. To purchase your tickets or for more information, visit the FedEx Forum box office or head to grizzlies.com/tickets today. See the Grizz IRL. That's what John Roser would want you to do. What's up, Roser?
I'm
you
never.
See the Grizz IRL?
It's like it's my new thing.
It's okay. I want to throw a party and take the aux cord and play the Wicked soundtrack. So we
Still
all
haven't
have our
listened to that
problems.
one yet.
That's a you problem.
Oh, it's a me problem.
Yeah, you're not defying gravity. It's fine. It's cool. How are you?
I'm
This fine
great.
morning?
We need to move this microphone out
I know,
of the way.
it's
It's
right-
blocking.
hold on, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's cool. We're good. There we go. There we go. Better.
Now I can
better.
see your smiling face.
Oh, I love my hashtag. Look at that. Beautiful. Hashtag one more for Seth.
One
more for Seth.
For Seth. I did want to ask you, with Grizzlies Nets tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because when a team like the Nets comes in, we are in trade watch season.
We are.
Like the trade machines are fired up, their gears are whirling, and Grizzlies fans, one of the names that constantly gets attached with this team is a certain Cam Johnson. But earlier this week, you said the Grizzlies, as currently constructed, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No,
but
I said
believe
it's
that
currently
was-
constructed.
That you would not pick them to beat the Thunder.
No.
Would Cam Johnson make you pick them to beat the Thunder?
No.
Okay.
Especially. I don't know. Depends on who's available out there.
Okay.
Like I saw one of the ones with like Cam Johnson. Somebody put up like it was. God bless Anthony Sane. I would never see this stuff if Anthony Sane didn't respond
true.
to people. God bless you, Sane. I don't know how you do it. You're just doing the Lord's work. But it was like Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, 2 first-round picks for Cam Johnson. And I'm like, wait, Marcus Smart's better than Cam Johnson. Marcus Smart's more playoff proven than Cam Johnson. Why would we give them the better player, another player, and 2 first-round picks? That's just me.
It's just me.
I don't know.
Okay. I am sorry to alert you.
Maybe Cam Johnson's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't get me in the
Right.
levels of excitement that I see
My
from some people
hopes-
on my timeline who are also retweeted into my timeline because of responses from Anthony
My
Sane, for the most
hopes
part.
were, and this is what I still pray they do, if they weren't willing to do what needed to be done, well, maybe they were for Mikal Bridges, and thank God that didn't happen. But, like, they tried to get Kevin Durant, but they wouldn't include Bane, Jaren, or Ja. My hope has been that Milwaukee season was going to go sideways, and maybe there's still a chance there because
And
their
the
schedule's been
Giannis
weak,
of
and
it
the
all.
Giannis thing, and that's the one. I'd wait on something. I'm waiting on something big, not something like Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
And I don't get the point of giving up picks. Like, they like those picks, and
they have hit on.
They missed on
picks.
Zaire. They missed on David Roddy.
Hey, speaking
but
of Zaire,
I know he's out tonight.
bad news.
Yeah, he's out tonight.
No, I guess good news for the Grizzlies. No
Yeah.
Zaire revenge game.
Yeah.
Just got to take care of Dennis Schroeder.
But the point is, like, the first round picks, they value those. They will value those, even if they're late. Like we thought last year they missed on Zaire, they missed on Roddy, they missed on LaRavia. Well, you wait another year. Jake's a good player. Jake's a good player. They missed on Roddy, they missed on Zaire. But they have hit on Dez at 30. They have hit on Santi at 30. They have hit on LaRavia. They have hit on Vince Williams. They have hit on G.G. Jackson.
How about Jalen Wells?
They have hit on Jalen Wells.
How about potentially Cam Spencer?
Potentially Cam Spencer. Like, these are valuable picks for them. And so, like,
And the way that the new CBA is lined up, literally valuable picks for them.
You need guys. You need a bunch of those
Through
guys
your
making
draft.
nothing.
Correct.
Because I'm telling you now, barring anything other, wild like Jaren Jackson Jr.'s next contract is going to be insane. It's going to be the biggest. It's going to be a massive,
It might be the
massive
biggest contract you've ever seen.
It's going to be the biggest contract in franchise history.
No, I am with you. It is always funny. I just watch from the side. Trade season never does it for me. I love free agency season in the NBA because there's always the added drama to it.
Yeah.
But trade deadline season, I just sit back and watch. I also get emotionally invested in this is a me problem.
Yeah, right.
I get emotionally invested in every single player on this team.
Right.
So it situates itself I always feel weird.
I get that too.
Which is just the nature of working closely.
I get that too.
With the team.
We always goof on Devin about it, but it's like
Oh, it's
real.
so
Like when he's
true.
on social media, like he gets close with these guys. Like
Yeah.
he's on the road with them. Like you're around them every
Even
day.
just seeing them, seeing their families at
Yeah.
games, seeing the interactions with their kids before. I mean, I remember in the days before Xavier Tillman Sr. got traded, and it was known that X was on the trade block at that point, and he brought his family and his kids, and I think Kari was there, but they know them, and they were just all playing on the court before the game. And Dez is out there like rolling the ball back and forth with one of his kids, and I'm like, dang, I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah.
And he's special, and we all root for X everywhere. I was sad to see that he's fallen out of the rotation in Boston. We didn't get to see X up against the Grizzlies last weekend.
They are awesome. No, it is. It's always tough to see those guys go. I mean, we always joked with Devin about that he and he didn't, but we always joked that he cried when Garrett Temple got traded. We're just goofing on. But that was like I think Dev's first year doing the social media stuff for the team. And so like your first year is like right. So no, it is. It's you do grow. It's easy to grow when you're around these players that you really start to enjoy them and you really start to like them as you get to know them personally and not just view them as you are basketball players and names on a spreadsheet and salaries.
That is always the truth. Grizzlies Nets tonight.
Yes.
Grizzlies Lakers Sunday.
Okay. Is the story ever going to come out?
Where he is?
Where LeBron is?
Yeah, where's LeBron?
Yeah, what is going on?
What is happening?
What is happening? Why is he not there? And now all of a sudden his son is playing road games?
Which, going into this G League season, some people missed this because somebody asked me about this yesterday. Originally speaking, Bronny was only going to play in home South Bay Lakers games. And now he dropped a career high 30 points last night, but he played a road game.
So I have actually... I was talking to Devin about this. I defended that a little bit.
Okay.
Him not playing road games, and here's why: because of some of how the travel is in the G League. These guys end up in airports in these long layovers. Bronny is
Flying
famous.
Commercial.
Yes, and he is famous. Like he's not. This isn't Scoot Henderson playing for the Ignite or.
Why aren't you trying to have the same level of protection for Yuki Kawamura? Famous.
Yuki is not famous in America.
He's internationally known.
He's famous in Japan. He is not famous in America. He is not more famous than Bronny James. I have a question. Who do you think is more famous? Who do you think is more famous, Bronny James or Angel Reese?
Bronny James.
Okay, Devin said Angel Reese. I thought Bronny James was too. So I do get some of that.
Angel Reese, I want to be clear. Angel Reese is very famous.
She's insanely famous. Yes,
but that is the testament to the James family.
It's LeBron's son.
Is one of the 5 most. I'm just throwing this out. I haven't done the workshopping in my head. One of the 5 most famous families in America.
Really?
I think so.
The Obamas.
The Trumps.
I mean, politics is a
Beyonce,
different
Jay-Z.
world.
Tough times. Did you
bad
see the
time
soft
right now.
launch? Did you see the soft launch of Beyonce Knowles? She was named. Oh gosh, hold on 1 second. Chris just sent it to me this morning. It was something Forbes related. She was named the most powerful woman of the year by Forbes. And it says Beyonce Knowles instead of Beyonce Carter Knowles or Knowles Carter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There was also something.
What other families?
Wasn't there also something yesterday
the James family.
that her foundation donated $1 million to Tony Busby's law school?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there we go. Okay.
I'm trying to think, what would the other famous families in America be?
The most famous?
Like that you would know their children too, because I think.
Do the
if we're doing this, it
Rothschilds
turns
count?
No, because you don't know what they look like.
Right.
Like most people don't see them. So usually it's celebrity related. I mean, obviously, like
the
Swift,
Kardashians.
most famous,
The Kardashians.
of
The
course.
Kardashians. Yeah. We're dumb for that. The Kardashians.
Like Taylor Swift is famous, but right now Taylor
Shouldn't have a
Swift is
family.
not married. You don't know.
I love that we're going to
her
see
parents
what
as much.
happens
Like
now
Taylor
when the
Swift
tour
you
is
do.
done. Because now these two are actually going to have to be
I
together.
hope they elope. That's my dream for them.
Well, I think now they have to like be together. They have
That
to
too.
really be around each other now.
Sure.
So that's going to be like
Tour's done, NFL season's
now
done.
you'll see if
Once
they.
it's done.
Now you see if it really works.
Not just travel, not just fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just fun travel. Yeah, the Obamas, the Trumps, the Kardashians, the Clintons.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah, they're
talking
still in there.
politics. I
Right,
mean,
which makes sense because one of the
Yeah.
most one of the most facey people in our country, and by facey I mean like recognizable people, is going to be the
Right.
president and the president's family.
Right.
Like you could throw the Bushes in there.
Okay, the most non-political, the most famous
Sure.
not political families.
That's why I go with Kardashians.
The Kardashians are probably number 1.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's nuts.
And I think Beyonce, Jay-Z, the Carter Knowles family.
The Currys are the Currys. The
Currys
Currys aren't as
are up
famous
there.
as the LeBrons, though.
No, they're
not.
probably one down.
Mahomes' family might be getting up there.
Yeah.
They're starting
Honestly,
to.
You want to know who's in there? The Kelsey family.
Yeah,
You saw
they
what
are.
happened
Just
with
because
Kylie
of Taylor,
Kelsey?
just because of Taylor Swift.
Right, but they have worked that perfectly.
Yeah,
The
and
fact that
and
Kylie
with-
Kelsey dropped a podcast and it became the #1 downloaded podcast it didn't even take a whole week, in
Yeah.
days. Usurping Joe Rogan, who has sat atop that crown for a long time now, is crazy to me. I'm not in that world. And like I listened to a little bit of the Kylie Kelsey podcast. It's not for me. I love her. I think she's very funny.
It's just you don't love the
But
pod.
it's just it's not something that I would choose to listen to, but millions of other people felt differently. I put
Yeah.
the Kelseys in there. So I guess you could do like a Kelsey Swift.
I feel that way about Jason
adjacent.
Kelsey. I'm like, why do they force feed us him on television? Like, I don't care what he thinks.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just not. I mean, I think he's probably a great guy. I just
The
have no-
Jordans.
like
Kinda.
Michael? I don't know. Nobody knows his wife.
That's
Like nobody
true.
know. They just know Marcus from dating
True.
Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen's ex.
We don't talk about that here.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad.
Um,
But like, yeah, nobody. Yeah, it's Michael Jordan. You don't really know the family.
Is there anyone else? Those are really the only ones that come directly to mind. Famous families in America.
The McMahons? Vince, Linda, Stephanie, Triple H is part of that now.
Yeah.
I'm getting some stuff from the chat.
Yeah. Like if you go abroad, the royal family.
Right.
But I'm talking America.
If
you go abroad, like the
you can-
Beckhams.
yeah, right.
The Beckhams are in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I
Interesting
think we've found out
Anyway, back to your original question.
non-politics, the Kardashians are the most famous family in America. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy. And obviously.
Girl, a superstar, all from a home movie.
I have no words.
Makes you realize it probably was a planned thing.
I mean.
Yeah, like it.
Like there's a business approach to all of this. And even if it wasn't a planned thing,
Kris
they knew how to handle
Kris
it.
Jenner, everything is a business approach with her.
Lee.
Nothing's ever natural.
The Manson family.
The Manson
You're horrible.
family,
That's
man.
what
Come
we
on,
moved
Lee.
straight on over. But yes, Bronny James is very, very, very famous.
Yes, he is.
So the
that's
point
why I
of
get.
you can't travel
That's why
commercial.
I get not.
Where
yeah, when
is
you
LeBron
have.
James?
But where is LeBron? Like what?
What is happening?
What is going on?
I don't know.
I mean, there are the wild conspiracy theories out
Of course,
there.
there's wild conspiracy theories. There's also less wild conspiracy theories of being
also-
linked to the Warriors. Like,
Yeah.
is he in the midst of trying to take some time personally? Which
to
is
decide, do I want to be here in LA?
only
It
LeBron
just
James
is
gets
so
that
funny.
level of excused absence.
You know what? I'll give him a pass on this because I was a Bulls fan back in the day, and Dennis Rodman just like left in the middle of the season one time.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last day it talks about it, like, he just left and was like doing wrestling, and like, he was on like during the playoffs. He was on like WCW Nitro, Monday Night. Like, I mean,
he left like Devondre Campbell left the middle of that Niners game.
He
last
did,
night.
yeah. So he sucks anyway. He's not good. But that was lame.
Of
like
course.
that's lame. And George Kittle even said after the game, said, "I don't want to play with somebody like that, and I hope I don't play with somebody like that ever again."
Javarius Ward said he's going to get cut soon.
Yeah, they have to cut
Like
him.
they were open and honest about it. There was no.
They have to cut him.
There was
now.
no question of how the Niners locker room felt about
Yeah, you
that
can't.
happening
No,
yesterday.
because he was butthurt that Dre Greenlaw came back after being out since the Super Bowl last year with the torn Achilles. He was mad that Dre Greenlaw came back. By the way, I mean, he got hurt last night. That's why Campbell was asked to go in the game in the third quarter because Greenlaw said his knee felt weird. But that first half, by the way, Dre Greenlaw was awesome. He was awesome, which was
Only the
amazing to
Niners
see.
defense and offense could be awesome in the same
be awesome
game.
be awesome at the same time. But Brock can't throw in the rain. That's a thing.
Or snow.
Or he can't
Weather.
throw in weather.
Brock versus weather,
and
not good.
And when you play in San Francisco, you're gonna get probably like 1 to 2 rain games a year. Like it's just gonna happen there.
He's kind of like Elphaba.
Yeah, it's
Can't get wet.
It's what?
You wouldn't get it because you haven't listened to the Wicked soundtrack.
Oh,
It's
I
fine.
haven't. Okay. But no, that's lame. That's lame. You can't do that. You got to cut that guy. He sucks anyway. He's not good.
Right.
They've been missing Greenlaw all year to go next to Warner. Warner's been playing on a broken ankle. As for the other side of it, like they tried to force feed Deebo Samuel at times, and it's like he's not himself. Like he's just not. It's like,
missed. I mean,
he
that-
can't break tackle. He doesn't break tackles
That
anymore
one throw
either.
right over the middle.
That's a touchdown.
Completely.
It's a touchdown. And
So infuriating.
so infuriating. Brock couldn't
Brock threw,
Brock has been the most.
Purcell short on that one.
He has been like top 2 most accurate quarterbacks, like 20 yards more down the field,
Mm-hmm.
15 yards more down the field. He's been one of the top 2 most accurate quarterbacks in the league over the last 2 years doing that. 0 for 7 with a pick. That tells you
And they were-
last night, like he couldn't throw in the rain. And they
They
had
were
guys.
gunning for it last night too. I think first or second play of the game. It was at least on the first
He
drive.
underthrew Pearsall on one of those last drives. Too. Pearsall had the move and he underthrew him. He missed Kittle on 2 of them that he could have had.
And then Deebo just didn't make the play.
Debo didn't make the play, and then the Jennings pick was terrible. That's like, dude, that's where you got a quarterback. That's
Pearsall was open. I think Kittle was open.
Everybody was
except for
open
Jennings.
except for Jennings.
Yes.
If you look, everybody is open except for Jennings, and that's where he threw the ball. And it's like, yo, man, points are hard to come by in this game. You're in field goal range. You can't make that throw.
Yes.
Like, points are hard to come by here. You cannot make that throw right there. I thought the defense, they played their ass off. They got warned when you noticed it. The Rams had their two best drives when Greenlaw was out of the game.
Yeah.
In that second half.
Nakua's
That's when they had their
also,
best.
he's such a physical receiver.
Stafford made the throw.
Sure.
He made the throw. Like, he wasn't great either. And the 49ers defense did a great job. The secondary was great last night. He made the one play he had to make to Puka. Right. And Kyron Williams, they were able to soften up the run defense a little bit. So it's just one of those seasons. It's been a bad one. I don't think they need to rebuild. I think they need to retool their efforts. I think you look and it's like,
if you can get Purdy on a team-friendly deal,
which I think they
can.
Yeah, I think they can. I think Purdy is like a lot of these guys. I don't think he's any different than Jalen Hurts. Like,
I agree.
Like Jalen,
elite quarterbacks don't grow on trees. Patrick Mahomes doesn't grow on a tree.
Josh Allen
doesn't grow on trees.
Like it.
If you have somebody who's in that next tier of good enough and can get them on a team-friendly deal, then I don't see why you go shopping for something else.
Josh Allen and Mahomes are one of those, like, they can still have awesome. Yeah. I think Josh Allen even more so than Mahomes. Josh Allen, you can put whatever around him, and that dude is going to be amazing and put up awesome numbers. Mahomes, I'm not even sure is that way. Because we've seen it. Like, their offensive numbers are not like...
There's a little recency bias on that, too.
There's like... But... Burrow, I even wonder. Like, take away Jamar Chase. But for the Eagles, it's like, what do they have? What does Hurts have? He's got one of the top 3 best offensive lines in football. Yeah. He's got the best running back in football this year. And he's got, one of the best wide receiver duos. He's got a top 5 wide receiver. And he's got a great defense. So, like, just retool the offensive line, retool the defensive line. Like,
their passing attack is fraudulent going into the playoffs.
The Eagles
are 31st in passing yards, 31st in getting sacked. Like, sustainability is an issue there.
What I did find interesting is, I heard this last night, this morning actually, the top 5 rushing teams in the NFL are all in the playoffs. It's crazy when you think about a pass-happy league, and it's the running teams are the ones that are having success.
That's been huge for all of these teams. Even, even on bad teams right now, like, the Titans stink. Tony Pollard's been excellent.
Yeah, has been
consistently. Okay, we normally would do our Rickhouse or games of the weekend in college football and the NFL. Only one college football game this weekend. It's the Army-Navy game. Did you know that this is the most combined wins that those teams have ever come into this game with?
Wait, what's the records?
11-1 and 8-3.
Yeah.
And that's the most ever.
Notre Dame wrecked Navy season. They were never the same after taking that beat down.
Notre Dame also wrecked Army. Notre Dame hates America. I don't know if you know this. Notre Dame hates the United States of America. It's a church versus state kind of thing, and Notre Dame is church, and America is state, and
or they're just really good against triple option teams.
That might be it. That could be an easier and more societally.
But we'll just say they hate America.
I think as a USC fan, Notre Dame hates America.
You need to look into the camera and do a Notre Dame hates America rant, and then we need to post it on TikTok.
Notre Dame hates America. They ruined Army season. They ruined Navy season. Just ask them. They hate the U.S. of A. They wish that they could change the nation's colors to green and gold. But we bleed red, white, and blue. Unless you're Notre Dame. There you go.
Debate your refrigerator.
Yeah. Debate your mom.
React.
React. What is the NFL game that you're most looking forward to now that you have made it through the slog of Thursday Night Football? I think there's one main answer.
I think there's two. I think there's two. I think there's Eagles Steelers, and I think there's Bills Lions. I like Buffalo in this one because I don't think Buffalo's a team that loses back-to-back weeks. I just feel like they're a team, they're not going to lose 2 in a row. That team doesn't lose back-to-back games. And the 2.5-point spread tells me they're begging you to take the Lions. Why would you not take the Lions? Why would you not take them favored by 2.5? And then the other one, the Eagles and the Steelers. The Eagles are favored by 5. Mm-hmm. That line to me says we are begging you to take the Steelers. So I'm going to take the Eagles in that. I'm going to lay the 5 and take the Eagles.
I'm taking the Bills. I know they just gave up 44 points, but
Josh Allen is so awesome.
Josh Allen's awesome, and their defense is getting better.
They just got to get healthy.
Von Miller back from suspension.
They got to get healthy.
They have a couple of veteran defensive guys who are coming back. You've seen an improved defense. And
they got Matt Milano back in that Niners game. Like, they're going to get some guys back. They were a little banged up. They sleptwalked through the first half of that Rams game. Their defense did, and they let the Rams get cooking. And yeah, they were. And so the Rams could do that. I mean, they got talent. So no, I like Buffalo.
One more note on my Notre Dame hates America, and this is courtesy of Brandon C. in the chat because it's an excellent point. Notre Dame is literally a church in France. Notre Dame, Notre Dame, church and state, they are the church. No. We are the United States of America. We are the US of A. We accept all religion. Freedom of religion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are traitors if they're in France.
They are.
Yeah.
They ruined our military football teams. Our service academies were sunk by Notre Dame.
Are they French drones in New Jersey?
You do not understand. The New Jersey drones have had such a starring show in my household over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, is Chris fascinated about this?
He will not shut the F up about the drones in New Jersey.
I'm like, I have no idea what these are. They look crazy. This is like a light show going on. I'm like,
one
what?
of them had like little legs coming out of it.
Yeah. I'm like, why don't we just send something up there and like shoot them out of the sky? Like, I don't know. Like,
they're like, these are not domestic. These are not international.
Where
are they?
I have also maybe watched Independence Day too much where I'm like, yeah, just send an airplane up there and blow it out of the sky.
I did see the White House National Security advisor or communications advisor yesterday came out and was like, no drones have been corroborated as drones. Like, there's no evidence of any threat. This is a mass hysteria event at this point. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Yes. It's
But
probably
I wish we had one here.
It's probably like a couple of 13-year-olds in a
I want
backyard
to see some drones
somewhere.
over the Mississippi River.
You go down.
In
You'll
like a
see
cool,
them.
normal, non-threatening
You'll see
way.
them. You'll see them when the weather's nice. You'll see the nerds
Yeah.
out there with their drones.
Oh, they drive me crazy. When I'm on a run and there's a drone above me,
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, I don't
No,
like
they're
the angles
pervy.
here.
No, and you look
Yeah,
and you
they're
see the kid, and
pervy.
he's like,
Make drones less pervy.
he's always breathing weird. Yeah.
Chicago said we're 3 weeks late to the story. Trust me, I'm not 3 weeks late to the story. It has been a large part of my life for the last 3 weeks. I just haven't talked about it on here. All right, we have one more break we have to take. We'll come back. A little Music Friday going into the weekend. I'll ask Grozer if he's heard about some great new Christmas tracks that we have going into the holiday season. One is local leaning. Yeah, we'll get into that when we come back.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get one free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700. Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about them
How
Tigers?
about the
Go
Tigers?
Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog. and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Weekend. We are almost to a Grizzlies game night. It has been so long as we get Grizzlies Nets tonight. Let's do a little Music Friday before we get on out of here. Hey, Roser.
I'm excited about this.
Well, first, one news and note from the music industry. Don't throw chairs. Don't throw chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could end up like Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen.
Getting charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment, sentenced to 7 days at a DUI education center along with 2 years of supervised probation. What are 7 days at a DUI education center? Can you leave? Are you just being shown the horribleness of DUIs? Also, he didn't drive under the influence. He threw a chair under the influence. We need a chair UI.
We need to sentence his music to 7 days incarceration
I
and 2
agree.
years probation.
You know me, I'm a Morgan Wallen hater.
Away, girls alone. Song's terrible.
Name one Morgan Wallen song challenge.
That one and then the Post Malone one. I'm sure I've heard Morgan Wallen songs.
Me too, but I can't name them and I can't sing them off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
Last night.
Anything I believe I probably have heard, I'm just like, I don't think this is that good. It's a little too, I'm Team Zach Bryan.
Well, this is your reminder. If you end up at Eric Church's bar in Nashville, don't throw a chair off the roof.
Don't throw a chair off the roof.
Because you too could go to a DUI center for 7 days and be on probation. Have you ever thrown a chair? Wrestling style?
I don't think so.
Me neither. They're always so awkward to pick up.
It's easy to get in trouble in Nashville, though. Like, you can do some wild stuff in Nashville.
Completely unrelated.
I
My
did it
TikTok
once.
has been full. Yeah, I've done a bachelorette trip in Nashville. I've done fun weekends in Nashville. They're telling, like, the girls are telling the girls, the gals are telling the gals, like, don't go out in Nashville right now. Like, the amount of women who are ending up getting, like, date rape drugged is insane at the moment.
That's
like, I've always known when I'm in Nashville, I take extra care of my drink. Like, if I leave my drink for any reason, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not coming back to it.
Yeah.
You should always do that, but like, especially there, you have it in the back of your head. But my TikTok, I think it's because I'm in Memphis, so the algorithm, like, adjacently takes me to Nashville at times. And there have been so many stories recently of girls who have had just, like, horrific nights.
We've also established you're a bit of a woo girl.
Woo!
You're a woo girl.
I'm like an anti-woo-woo girl.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hate the woos, but within my soul is the woo.
And you're friends with the woo.
I'm friends with the woos. That's the problem.
You've been on tons of bachelorette parties with the woos.
I have. And you want to know what? I've had a great time.
Yeah.
Like, I'll sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to woo. And the next thing I know, I'm woo.
Because, I mean, ultimately, the woos are having fun.
Yeah.
It's like I can hate on the bro. Oh, bro.
But they're having fun.
But the bros are having fun.
They're having fun.
It's cool to be a bro sometimes. You're having fun. Nothing wrong with that.
The new Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre album dropped this morning. I have not had a chance to listen to it.
I haven't either.
But I heard good things.
I
from those
heard
who
something that he did on Drink Champs.
Oh, okay.
They debuted a song and it sounded good, so
Okay.
I'll listen to it. I've seen a couple comments on some of the hip hop accounts I follow on X say that they're like, it's exactly what you would expect from Dr. Dre. The production is crazy. It is clean. It's tight. So yeah.
I was excited to see that Time Magazine, big week for Time Magazine, named their Athlete of the Year, named their Person of the Year, named their Song of the Year.
Okay,
Glorilla.
so yeah, the
TGIF. It's 7 p.m. Friday.
7
It's
p.m. Friday.
Grizz.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Song of the Year.
Okay.
Glorilla of the Year.
Yeah. No, I know it.
Time Magazine told me so.
So athlete was Caitlin Clark and person was Trump.
Correct.
Okay.
And some people are like, I can't
Would
believe
you
they
do-
gave
would
it to
you-
Trump, and I'm like,
Who would
I'll
you
withhold?
I mean, I think Trump probably is the right pick. I think if it wasn't him, I think it's Elon Musk.
I mean, there
Wouldn't you?
was quite the run. Like, no matter how you feel, it's not like Time Magazine only gives it to people who are universally loved.
Right.
Like, can you tell me who the 1938 Time Man of the Year was?
Was it Hitler?
It was Hitler. Can you tell me
Yeah.
the 1939 Time Man of the Year?
Was it Hitler?
It was Stalin.
It was Stalin,
Can you tell me
yeah.
1940s Time Man of the Year?
No.
Winston Churchill.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, like it's that's good. You're not supposed to like. It can be polarizing.
Sure.
It can be.
It's
there's nothing wrong with
influential,
that.
not
Yeah.
likability factor.
Yeah.
Not goodness. It's not morality. It's not a award on morality necessarily.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It's also not an award. It's a magazine cover.
It's a magazine
But I love
cover.
that TGIF got some love. The obvious answer would have been Not Like Us. Like I would imagine that tops most people's charts of Song of the Year.
I think when you think of songs of this year,
That is what I will think of.
There's two. You think of Not Like Us, and you think of Shabuzi. Those are the two.
A bar song.
You think of
But you're a
those.
man. And I have a theory that I'm workshopping. The men really rallied around Tipsy for whatever reason. Like all men. Like a lot of my friends' significant others,
It's a
weeks
banger.
after it first came out, came to their women in their lives and said, "Have you heard this song by a guy named Shabuzi?" Like we all had that moment within our lives.
Yeah.
So I think you're speaking to something of your kind that definitely took over.
Yeah, the Shabuzi song's great.
Yeah. Yeah, those are probably the main two that I would think of.
Yeah.
But I love that TGIF got recognized, and I love when people start talking about Glorilla, and as she has had quite the year herself, and her album was probably one of my top 10 favorite albums from this year, top 10 most played albums from this year. She also just dropped a new Christmas song with Kalani. So if you are looking for, do you seek new Christmas music in your life?
No.
I don't either. So it takes something special for me to be like, okay, I'm going to add this to my Christmas list. The last Christmas song I added to my Christmas playlist was Cher's DJ Play This Christmas Song, which is a fantastic song. And she did a duet of it with Kelly Clarkson this year, which I've now downloaded as the new version of that song in my Christmas playlist. But I like this little Xmas time from Glorilla and Kalani. Dare I say, it's like pretty pure.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet. And I'll read you the first verse. It's that time of year to get exactly what you wishin'. It's time to be around all the ones that keep you lifted. It's time for all the hugs and the mistletoe kisses. Not me, 'cause I'm a P, but good luck with your misses. This is as merry as I'm getting. And I might have had a Christmas that I ain't get a thing that's on my wish list. I celebrated still, 'cause I knew that I was gifted. And that's the spirit of Christmas. Amen.
Okay, good for her.
So we have that.
Good for Glow.
We also got...
Do
Are
you?
familiar
Okay,
with-
I have not
Yes.
listened to. I need to ask you this. I have not listened to Glow's entire album because
You haven't?
it's fine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you
She's-
even from Memphis? First, you say the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win it all.
Is it better than Doechie's album?
No, Doechie's album is
Okay,
art.
so Doechie's album is.
Doechie's album is
She's great.
different,
She
though. I think
is
Doechii is the most
great.
talented. Like, it's hard to get.
She is better than Cardi B. She's better than
Correct.
Meg Thee Stallion.
Correct.
She is an artist.
Yeah.
Like, she's a real. She's
You
cut.
know me, I'm a theater girly. She is theater.
She's cut from the Tyler the Creator, the Travis Scott, the Kanye West, the Kendrick Lamar cloth. Like she is
Her
cut
appearance
from that.
on Fallon. Have
Yes.
you watched that? And then the Tiny Desk were just.
It's
remarkable.
she's a
But you wanna know
performer.
what's
I
crazy?
saw her at Tyler's Tyler the Creator's the Camp Flogger. She is amazing.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's
She,
gonna be a star.
But it's interesting because I was with I mentor.
Unless she does
children.
too many drugs because she says she likes them.
She does. Openly talks about.
Openly talks about loving
But
to
her
use
lyrics
drugs.
are so real. Like
They
It's
are.
her life story,
It
and
is.
it's done in a really effective way. I was with a group of 7th grade girls on Wednesday, and we were talking about like artists that we really like right now. And I brought up Doechii because I literally
Yeah.
just watched the Tiny Desk concert. None of them knew who she was.
Yeah.
Not one of them.
No, she's not.
Which was interesting. They all love Glow, and they're in Memphis.
She doesn't have any song that you're gonna like hear in a club or
No.
anything like that.
It's
Like,
not earwormy stuff. She
That's-
did do the song with Katy Perry.
Yeah, but that's where
Katy
you
Perry Katy Perry can barely sell tickets for her
right.
London tour right now.
But that's where you have to like. It's where you start. Your music is popular, like
Yeah.
in clubs, and
Yes.
people like to listen to it in their cars and turn it up, and then you graduate to higher.
You get something on
you
top
know.
40,
Yeah.
and then you're able to do yours. Where Doechii has done like the artistic work without having the super popular hot song yet.
Have y'all talked about Jack Harlow at all on this
No.
show? Did you see he did a
What's
rendition of Elvis's "I Can't Help Falling in
I
Love"?
did see
with
that.
You?
Do you have an
And
issue with that?
Well, the conspiracy are like, oh god,
They're trying to turn
They're
him.
doing it to him.
Yeah.
it's the Post Malone thing. They're doing it to him.
I listened to it though, and I said, That was a lovely rendition of a
It
song.
was.
He said it was for his. Didn't he say it was for his grandma?
I don't know. But
I
it
think
was
he said
great.
It was his grandma's favorite
I thought
song.
he sounded
or it was
great.
somebody in his life's favorite song.
Yeah.
You can sing "Can't Help Falling in Love with You"
But
once.
I mean, the
and
Jack
not
Harlow
lose all your
crossover,
cred.
the Jack Harlow crossover from hip hop to pop star has been. I mean, he's done movies. It's been going on for a couple years now.
Even using God, what was the Fergie song that he sampled?
Oh,
First Class.
yeah.
Like even using that was poppy.
Yeah,
So
right.
come on. It's not that serious.
Right.
One more Christmas album I want to plug
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was unexpected of this Christmas album and it's awesome. I love instrumentals. Victoria Monet
Okay.
dropped an orchestral arrangement of Christmas songs mashed up with her songs. For example, On My Mama is mixed with God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen and the 12 Days of Christmas, and it almost dropped an F-bomb. It hits. It's really good. Like, this was really clever, and it just popped up, and I was like, oh, I'm intrigued by this. And if you like orchestral sounds, may I suggest?
I do.
The Victoria Monet orchestral
You know what?
Christmas arrangements.
I will.
You're going to add it. Yes, you are.
Yeah, Victoria Monet. Let's do
It's
it.
good stuff. All right. As Roser adds it to his list, I will say, happy Friday, everybody. TGIF, in the words of Glorilla. We will be back on Monday. We'll have 2 Grizzlies games to discuss. Grizzlies Nets tonight, Grizzlies Lakers on Sunday. If you have not gotten your tickets for Grizzlies Nets tonight, I cannot tell you enough. Get them. Have a chance to see the Grizzlies. Get revenge.
Download
That's
it.
it. Download
It's in
it.
there. Song that
They're
last
good.
song that was on that I was listening to is Earthquake from Tyler the Creator.
Perfect. Earthquake to orchestral Christmas jams. What more can you ask for? Roser, thanks for filling in. Bennett
Of
Doyle,
course.
thanks for filling in. I'll go see Bennett and Gary in a second, but you'll get Gary Parrish Show, Chris Vernon Show, all the happenings on Grind City Media. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.